So I just wanted to debrief a little bit on the information that Christina provided. I mean, it's definitely on point. It's definitely on point with what my focus is right now, right? Just my resources and just really just it's so funny. It's just like, are you planning on having a baby? Well, no. So it really is this creativity, right? This putting together this, this life coach thing. And even though I'm just starting to like get my bearings again, right? And I'm still trying to work with what I have available to me and what I can continue to do. And I was explaining to her, I'm just like, I'm not even working full time. Like I'm working on training my body to kind of withstand a little bit more, because I'll feel it. I'll feel it when I'm pushing too much, right? And so finding that balance. And so it's interesting when she talked about like death and because then, in terms of the time frames, because then it's reminded me of some of these dreams that I had, right? In terms of kind of like this knowing, right, that something's going to happen, that there's going to be loss. There's going to be more loss. And to a certain degree, I'm a lot more comfortable with it because I'm aware of it and I'm aware of the purpose behind it. And just spiritually, like I mentioned, my beliefs have shifted. And so I'm hoping that I'm a lot more comfortable with this release and letting go and working with the energy, right? And so I was excited for what she shared, and it was on point with what I was doing. And just again, this continued highlighting of this spiritual path that is in my path. like the focus continues to be prevalent and strong. So I'm like, okay, I'm aware of it, I'm embracing it, I'm working with the energy. And clearly, right, my dreams, I mean, all of this is part of that process of tapping into, providing, right, letting go of the things that kind of were not muddling, but just made it hard to see, right? Made it hard to see that part of my life because I was so overly, giving too much of myself in other ways, exerting my energy in other ways, and now just needing to realign myself, right? To redirect my energy in a way where I'm meant to be. Really is where I'm meant to be. And so the conversation that her and I had afterwards that I didn't record, was on that collaborative piece of like explaining to her. I'm just like, I see this as a tool that can help people heal, and that's why I'm wanting to learn more about it, and wanting to, because I see it in my clients, and even though I'm working with adults, I see the child within. I see the wounds that need addressing, need healing. So when she talked about working with children, it's this, again, this element of like not really literally working with children, but working with adults, right? And helping them heal their inner child wounds. And because I see, I mean, when I work with my clients, I just see it. And right, that balance of like asking the questions needed for them to also see it within, and or gently challenging them. And so so some of the things that she shared in terms of how I can have access to her, because it's another thing that she's working with is, and she mentioned some terms that I need to look into a little more, like a bhakti. I've never heard of bhakti, and just kind of. But anyway, she said, she's like, I think you'd be a good fit to our group, in terms of the purpose that they're what they're trying to work on, right? And this element of regaining a sense of control over how to work with it. It's really learning how to work with the energy, right? And so then you feel a little bit more of a sense of control versus feeling like you don't have control over the energy around you, over how things are playing out around you, right? And I mentioned to her, I'm like, that's what I'm doing with my clients, is helping them regain a sense of control for their lives, helping them feel more aligned within themselves, using this as a tool for guidance, right? And yeah. So anyways, I was grateful for the information she shared afterwards and just the ways that I'll be able to collaborate with them through these sessions. And then talking to her about how I can learn a little bit more and access her a little bit more, and to just continue to develop these skills, and look into that program that she had, and just kind of learn how to read that. Because I noticed, and I didn't ask her, and I probably will after I go through some of the stuff, the information that she's going to send me, but she uses the natal chart, which is different than, what kind of chart was this one? This is a different chart. It's not a natal chart. I forgot. The other chart that I print out that I use is a little bit different. I think the natal chart is like more whole chart, whereas this one isn't. Dang it. I forgot what the difference was. I wrote it down somewhere. It was natal versus whole sign. Whole sign. And I think I use a whole sign. Or no. No, unless I just haven't, I need to reprint mine. It is a few months old. But anyways, so just grateful for, yeah, I'm grateful that I'm on. She's like, it sounds like you're on track. I'm like, okay, it feels good to be on track. Yeah. So she's going to send me the recording soon. So I'll do my best to just kind of like, yeah, just do my best to try to incorporate that or tie that in to the video for an update, and yeah, just take it from there. All right, take care. Bye. Hi again. I just wanted to provide another tidbit of information that so I'll include this in my debriefing of working with Christina afterwards. She mentioned something else that stood out for me, and I don't think it was part of the 30 minutes that was recorded, but she mentioned that after my birthday things were going to get busier, a lot busier with regards to my work, and so like this would be the time for me to work on the creative piece of really, she's like, so you're gonna feel it really slowing down, where you're like literally having to build it brick by brick, but it's purposeful in the sense of like for that long haul, like the future long haul. So this will now be the creative part of this time period from now until my birthday, I think, or at least the next few months. Before my birthday, because after my birthday it's going to pick up, and work wise it's going to pick up, and not just in work but in relationships, she said, and where love, like in essence people from my past and she's like, it's not necessarily a bad thing, But relationships, I guess. So I'm thinking like friendships also, right? People that I've had to kind of like separate myself from in order to be able to do this. And that's the thing about releasing and letting go is sometimes you have to create space by letting go of the things that are holding you back and or that are no longer helping you move forward is a better way of looking at it, right? And it's again this purpose of the sense of like who you surround yourself with, right? The people that you surround yourself with is really important in terms of, they always say, I remember when I was part of like Amway, one of the things I learned during that experience, one was public speaking, and forcing ourselves to communicate with strangers. I remember that was so hard for me, but I learned a lot through that experience, and then there was the element of books. I love that there were a lot of books that we were encouraged to buy, like book of the week or book of the month, and we would talk about it, like what we gained from it, and we would do like when we would have our team meetings, we would present on what we were reading or favorite products, and so there was this just constant skill building of public speaking that I remember we struggled with at the beginning, right? Because I wasn't very social, and but that's one of the things that I really appreciated from that experience was the learning piece of how to do that in public, and so there's a lot of books that stand out for me, especially the one like what is it called? What do you say when no one is around your what to think about, something like that. What do you say when no one is listening? Something like that. But that one's. But there was also some in terms of like the 5 people that you surround yourself with, right? How important that is, and so making sure that the people you surround yourself with are of good energy, are people who are again going to help you move forward in life. So, why was I bringing that up? I don't know why I was bringing that up. But anyway, so she just talked about how after my birthday things are going to pick up in terms of like I won't have time. That's what it was. I won't have time to invest in the creative part of my life anymore, or not anymore, but for the time period. So this is the time right now to do that, to create what I'm going to create, and so that it can take off after my birthday. And then she's like, after that you're not going to have as much time because it's going to be work and relationships and collaborations that I'll be focusing on. So you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of of what MJ said and what my mom said. This was back in February. Was it February? Yeah, February. Or March. February, had to be February. That dream that I had. Where she said, or my mom said in not in my dream, but in real life, when I was looking at the painting, and she said, no vas a tener, like, no tienes espacio. You won't have room. And that's what MJ said too. When I backtracked, she said, you won't have room. I don't know if I won't have room for that part of my life, or if it's just the busyness is gonna be more challenging to balance, maybe. I don't know. But that's what stood out. Afterwards, I was like, she's like, it's gonna pick up. It's gonna pick up. Not funny. But yeah, I just want to add that little tidbit. I'm going to finish up my notes, probably go for another walk, go to the park maybe, and read. Keep reading. Maybe eat. I haven't eaten. It's already 2 something. 2:32. Balance. Need to eat. That's all. Bye. Hi. My name is Yubi, and in case you haven't figured it out, this footage is capturing my experience as I learn to navigate my personal spiritual awakening. I am learning that this experience is unique to each one of us. In whatever way we believe we are embracing living our truth, this just happens to be my journey. And despite me having a graduate degree and a license in clinical social work, this by no means is intended to replace any type of mental health advice. This is just me on a personal level, documenting my experience, shedding light on the truth that I am learning and discovering for myself, and really inviting you along for the ride. If by some magical chance you find this content to be helpful in any way, shape, or form, please click the like button, share the message, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have an Instagram account, a personal one, and one specifically for this channel that you're more than welcome to check out. I'm an open book. I have also created t-shirt designs. I'm wearing my favorite one right now, which is the North Node design, but I have that and other things that you can look at inspired by this process and journey, and I have the link in the description box as well as in the about section of my YouTube channel. So you're more than welcome to check those items out. Any type of support is great. Again, if you find this content really helpful or meaningful, sometimes when we take that step and be vulnerable, with showing what's inside our hearts and what's really our truth, we realize that we're much more connected than what we thought we were. And so I hope that as I'm living this experience, and that you find some type of truth for yourself, or find some type of ability to heal in some way just by relating, just by knowing that you're not alone. That really has been my goal with this process, not just being able to connect with others, but really for my own healing. It's definitely been a therapeutic experience and a very creative one for myself. So I thank you, and I wish you all the best, and we'll see what else comes next for me. So